There's less than 2 days left at this point in time for the deadline to pass for all of the squads that will be taking part in the T20 World Cup to declare what their final 15 will be looking like. And given that India has such a passionate cricketing fan base, there's always going to be speculation as to what exactly the 15 could potentially be looking like. Now, we've heard plenty of reports in the past about certain shock players coming in, and these are from media sources that have spoken to anonymous sources. We're not just talking about certain cricket experts speculating on what the 15 could be. We're talking about people who've heard from those within the know with a little bit of idea as to what is going on. And now we have some fresh reports that does shed a bit of an interesting perspective on what exactly it is that we could expect from this particular squad as far as the Indian cricket team are concerned. Now, there are a few question marks. One of them, of course, being who'd be the first choice wicket-keeper batter, who'd be the second choice. Also, how exactly will you be fitting in certain players? And more importantly, are there going to be any IPL stars, people who've impressed in this particular edition of the IPL, who will be bolters into the squad? That's what we're going to be looking at in this particular video. Let's start off with the wicket-keeping conundrum. Now, according to the report we're mentioning, Sanju Samson is supposed to be ahead of Rishabh Pant as far as the pecking order is concerned. So both of them will be in the squad, but Sanju is expected to be the first choice wicket-keeper batsman. The reason for that is because Samson does have the ability to tonk both pacers as well as spinners, but it's his ability to hit spin that swings the pendulum in his favor. Why? Because India's top three, and I'm not necessarily talking about in order, but the likes of Rohit Sharma, Virat Kohli, even a Suryakumar Yadav at times do tend to be a little slower against spin bowling than they would be against pace bowling. So they need someone like a Sanju to kind of come in there, counterbalance and ensure that the scoring rate is not, let's say, slowed down when the spinners are in play. As for any other keeping options that are concerned, well, now we're getting to hear that there's no place for Jitesh Sharma, and definitely the door has been closed on Rahul, because even though he's had a couple of impressive performances, they've come at the top of the order. So it's not being considered because the keeper that they're looking for will be a middle or lower middle order player, not what Rahul is doing right now for his IPL franchise. But what about the big question marks? It seems the wicketkeeper spot is very clear, but there are some rather interesting question marks around the side, and it does involve A, an all-rounder, and B, certain power hitters. Now, for one, there are doubts over the bowling ability this year of Hardik Pandya. That's not to say that people have forgotten that he knows how to bowl. It's just that his recent form in the IPL with the ball has been pretty bad. There's no two ways about it. So there are doubts as to whether or not he should be a guaranteed player in the 11, and that would India perhaps be better suited for going with an extra batting option and only going with 5 bowlers. That's because Pandya's form with the ball hasn't really been good. Also, there's expected to be a bit of an uproar if either the likes of a Rinku Singh or a Shivam Dube end up missing out. In the 11, that is. But the weird part is neither of them are even guaranteed to be in the 15 as things stand. Such is the, let's say, lack of spots within the squad. In fact, there is a thought process that if you include both Rinku Singh and Shivam Dube, then perhaps you may need to drop either your backup pacer or your backup wicketkeeper bat option, which does sound like a case of too many, let's say, talented players to fit in, but not enough slots to fit into. Now, this is something I did cover also in the video where all of us at Sports Today had picked our 15s, and I said that, if you don't have a Kohli and a Rohit, then it's very easy to fit both of them in. But if you have both of them, then perhaps it becomes a little bit of an issue, and that is apparently what the selectors are figuring out now as well. Now, this of course means that there's really less spots to go around. So you can perhaps guess what exactly the chances are that an IPL star, someone who's impressed in this season of the IPL, has of making it into the playing 11. The answer is not very. As of now, the Indian selectors are firmly focused on those who have already been a part of the international setup and who have experience at the highest level of the game. So players who have been capped and who have been part of the setup will be given first choice as far as getting the call-up is concerned. In fact, there were a few players who did catch the eye. There was a Mohsin Khan who plays for the Lucknow Super Giants, a Harshad Rana who plays for the Kolkata Knight Riders, both of whom impressed the selectors, but there were doubts over their consistency and fitness, which meant that they said that no, we're going to wait on these ones for now. One person who was considered for a shock call-up was Mayank Yadav. And this is very interesting because, again, a lot of people had said that no, you need to fast track him, you need to do this. But what put the brakes on that particular experiment was the fact that he ended up picking in nickel just a few games into the IPL season. Yes, he impressed with his pace, but then after that had a sustained spell on the sidelines, which actually told the Indian selectors that no, he still needs a bit of work. Perhaps not the best time to be calling him up, because again, that injury would have disrupted his momentum as well. So that's what we're getting to know as far as the Indian team selection is concerned. Definitely some interesting things for me. I like the fact that a Sanju Samson is ahead of a Rishabh Pant. I would definitely be starting him as my first choice. And what's even better is that, you're not going to be having any IPL stars. What I don't like is the fact that there's doubts over both a Rinku Singh and a Shivam Dube, because there's a feeling that as of now, only one can be accommodated, and to accommodate both, you may need to drop another player. It's a bit heartbreaking, but personally, I'd want to see them both, and I'm not quite sure how that works out. So you can let us know in the comments below what your thoughts are on the news you're getting to know ahead of course, the big selection meeting on May 1st. And don't forget to like this video, share it with your friends, subscribe to the channel, tap that bell icon, follow us also on social media. We're on Instagram, Twitter and Facebook. Don't forget to download the AajTak app, and if you're already on the channel, go ahead, check out some other videos we've done as well. For now, from my side though, it's goodbye.